this blows my mind. Blows my mind. The Pop Tarts Bowl, December 28th, Orlando, there's a press release, and I quote, it says that mascot will run around stadium interacting with fans. The final whistle blows, transforms into a game-winning snack for the victors. And I was thinking, if the mascot's all sweaty, because I talked to Mr. Med in the past, if it's all sweaty like that, then it's not it's not a good thing, right? I mean, you don't want to eat a sweaty Pop Tart. I mean, it gets moist and all that stuff. It's moist not in a good way, but they're saying it's going to transform, and that the winning team will be eating. And then everybody's saying, well, what's the best flavor? I'm not really a Pop Tart guy. People saying brown sugar, blueberry. Is there a strawberry? I don't know all the flavors, so I don't know. But I got to tell you, I'm a little excited to watch this bowl game. Not even the game. I just want to watch afterwards and see this amazing Pop Tart that the players can eat from. And I want some of it. I want to, maybe I can get it the team or something. That would be awesome. Oh, brown sugar for Gumbo Chef. Gumbo Chef did a phenomenal workout today. We've worked out so long that he just gets bossy with the workout, and he just decides, well, this is what I'm doing now. And I'm just like, God, I love you. I love you, dude. I love you, dude. And, it's like a sounding board for each of us. We have time. Oh, s'mores for Josh. Brown sugar for Gumbo Chef. He's a good guy. Oh, and Joe Willie. I can't get over the Joe Willie. Joe Willie, 62. Doesn't even tell me Bumble changes his names. Like he has to stay anonymous. Can't he switches names. Cracks me up. Yes, so brown sugar for Gumbo Chef. S'mores for Josh. I don't know if Bumbles is a big Pop-Tart guy, but I was not allowed to eat them as a kid. Gumbo Chef, the best story as a kid, I think for their birthday, he told me that they weren't allowed sugar cereals, which I wasn't either, and that he would get a box of sugar cereal. And I remember in grad school, I think he got a box of Captain Crunch, and he just sat there. I think he even ate some of the stuff dry, no milk, and just would eat from the box. And I still remember our first trip as a family, we go to Disney World, buffet to end all buffets. Yes, it was Captain Crunch. Yes, thank you, Gumbush. Buffet to end all buffet. Everything you can think of. They had the little boxes of Frosted Flakes. Whole milk, Frosted Flakes. My father said I was like a pig in shit. Just sitting there eating everything. Pancakes, waffles, muffins, everything. I got whole milk, Frosted Flakes. Sat there. So, okay, good. Why would somebody try to hack you, Bumbles? Why you? Maybe there's a conspiracy theory. It was me. It was me, dude. It was all me. Dry, yes. Captain Crunch, rips the roof of your mouth. But I thought that was hilarious. Oh, my God, so good. Joe Willie, 62. Joe Willie, 62. I just think that's hilarious. I dropped something on the floor. We'll worry about that later. That's not me. Oh, maybe, yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Wasn't me there, Bumbles. Wasn't me at all. And Better Days Golf Co. I told Dominic, I said, dude, you got to put videos up of, you playing your roller hockey. Lo and behold, TikTok today, bam. He put up Better Days Golf Co. a video from their tournament on Friday. I'll tell you, I kind of want to try to play roller hockey. I can't really skate, but they're much better than I am, so I don't think that'd be a good move for me. But it was kind of cool to watch, and I love that he put it up. He is sending me a hoodie, which I'm excited about. The hockey jerseys are amazing. He said he hasn't made them yet, but when he does, I might have to get one of those. I told him I got to go to a game, got a car, half car will travel, so we'll see if that happens in the future. I mean, it will happen in the future. I'm saying we'll have to figure out when to do it. And Hal just sent me the schedule for next year, Saturday, November 30th, 2024, Texas at Texas A&M. First game, I think, since 2012-13 for the... I'm so psyched about that. Yeah, I'm so psyched about that. Oh, there he is. I was just talking about you. Dominic, I'm just talking about you putting up that TikTok video. That video was awesome, dude. That was a really good video. And so Saturday, November 30th, 2024, I am in Galveston, Texas next year for Thanksgiving. Yeah. Rangers didn't even look good from the opening tip. What do you call it, opening tip? Opening drop. Puck drop. They looked flat as hell, 5-1. They gave a couple empty net goals. It was 2-1. Some spectacular saves by that Sabres goalie, and flat as shit. I mean, it pissed me off how bad they look. They look terrible. They did. And the Rangers play the Devils. Rangers play the Islanders tonight. Somebody, one of the things I followed put up Rangers Devils, and I'm like, that's no Rangers, not Rangers. It's Islanders Devils, and I think it's at. Where's the game tonight? Is it at New Jersey? That's what I was looking at right now. It's at. I was trying to see where the game is today. Rangers. Yeah, at Devils. In Newark, New Jersey. But yes, the Pop-Tart Bowl. Yeah, wow, that's an edible mascot. And we're not talking about edibles like marijuana. Not that I've ever inhaled or anything, but you know what I'm talking about there. We know what we're talking about. Yes, Rangers got spanked. And so the Knicks, this in-season tournament, they have to win by at least 8 tonight over Charlotte. And that would mean they'd finish second in the group, and they pretty much guaranteed to go in the next round. And the whole thing people complain about the tournament right now is that it's point differential. So DeMar DeRozan got pissed off that they were taking shots up 12 at the end, still chucking. But Devin Booker even said, well, there's a point differential. He said that's something they have to change in the future or something because that's taken away from the integrity of the game. But college football does it all the time. They're always, you get a bigger, wider margin of victory. Tonight, tonight's the college football playoff, the second to last playoff rankings. And, everybody's trying to get a higher score, makes it look better, bigger blowouts. But I don't like it. Doable. Yeah. Well, Hapo Kako, he twisted his knee and he'd be helped off the ice. And I haven't seen anything about him if he's going to play. Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. If Josh watched the game last night, well, we were all probably watching the Monday Night Football game, which was torturous, but it looked bad the way he came off the ice. And Patrick Kane is going to Detroit. He had like a hip shaving. He didn't have and he's going to come back. I don't know how much he's going to actually perform when he's out there, but we shall see. Harris sent me something interesting from Giants Daily. The Bears and the Giants are 2 games out of the final wild card spot. They're both 4-8, also battling for a top 5 pick. NFL's the best. Did you watch that game last night? And now they're saying Josh Dobbs, they might replace him with Mullins or Jared Hall, the rookie out of BYU. And I'm like, listen, Dobbs, 4 interceptions, 2 fumbles by Justin Fields. There was a lot of turnovers. There was a lot. It was ugly. I mean, it was 3-0, 3-3. I thought they should have more points, the Bears. Then they're down 10-9. They finally gave up a touchdown. And Santos kicks the game-winning field goal, I think, from 30 yards. And they win 12-10. And Justin Fields, I still don't think, Eberflus was 0 for 9 against the NFC North. And he ends up, he gets his first win against a division opponent. And they're 6-6. The Vikings had won 5 in a row. They lost their last 2. Oh, yeah. Okay. And you know what's really important to talk about is Fordham basketball. Yeah, Bumble sent me today. Fordham basketball is better than Georgetown and Notre Dame. Well, not saying much. Georgetown, and I love Patrick Ewing, but they were terrible. And Notre Dame was terrible last year. They got rid of Mike. Who was the head coach of Notre Dame? Yeah, Mike, who was the winningest. I think he was the winningest coach in. That's what I'm trying. Mike. I see Mike. I can't. It wasn't Bren, the coach of Notre Dame, the basketball coach, whose name is escaping right now. Well, the name always escapes me. It's not Mike Bren. Yeah, Fordham basketball. Yeah, he's all excited about Fordham basketball. I love it. Bumbles is all like comparing them to like the greatest. Listen, it's nice to see them play well. Also, it's hard for them to compete with the big conferences because they, for the tournament, it's always about the big conferences have get all the love from the tournaments and all that stuff. And well, Fordham, what is Fordham? What if Fordham? Yeah, Mike who? Yeah, that's good. Always great for basketball coach. And it's not him. Yeah, it's okay. So Micah Shrewsbury is the coach now. And he took over for Yes, that's what I wanted to see. I see his face and it's driving me crazy that Mike Bray, 23 years. So right this year, yeah, Micah Shrewsbury. How come they don't have his record? What are they doing this season? What is Notre Dame was named head coach? I'm trying to find Notre Dame scores. Notre Dame basketball. Yeah, what is Notre Dame basketball doing this year? Basketball. So I was trying to figure out what I don't even know. But listen, I mean, it was ugly last year. Basketball. I'm trying to find the scores. Yeah. Okay. So Notre Dame basketball is 3-2. They play at South Carolina tonight. So they're not playing terrible. They were terrible last year, but they're better this year. But and what Fordham? What conferences your boys playing? Fordham basketball. Yeah, that's what I was trying to see. Don't they play in the A10? Fordham men's basketball plays in the Atlantic 10, the 13th. They did beat the Jaspers. Jaspers have been in the tournament 93-61, so that's why he's going crazy. Yes, Fordham is 3-3, which and you're playing the non-conference schedule now, dude. You got to win those games. But they're going to play. You're playing FDU on Thursday, and then Tulane on Sunday. Yes, I know. They're higher ranked than Georgetown and Notre Dame. They're higher ranked. Yes, they're 3-3. Dude, I don't know if I'm going crazy about that. I mean, I love you, but they're 3-3. Let's not stop everything. They said they will miss significant. Oh, but it's not season ending for Kako. Thank you, Josh. Was asked. You see, Josh is my dude. Joe Willie wants to talk about Fordham basketball and arguing with me that they're better than Georgetown, which is not saying much, and Notre Dame, which is new coach and everything. Oh, right, they don't recruit. You do recruit. Every school recruits. You don't have money to pay these guys like a Georgetown does, but you have donors, boosters. I mean, I don't think they're getting NIL money, but you're recruiting guys. Everybody recruiting. Every Division III, they're recruiting. You're just not recruiting. You're not getting the top. You're not getting filet mignon. You're getting more like roast beef from the supermarket. And sometimes you get, I don't know, he's just whining. He's whining today. Maybe he didn't eat his lunch. Maybe, he needs a Weineken, a nice cold Weineken right now. That's what he needs right now. I just think, yeah, I love him. I love Bumbles. Going on about Fordham basketball. We don't recruit. We don't. Yeah, it happens. Shit, man, but that's it. You're Fordham. You're not one of the big boys. And you do your best. Look, FDU last year made the tournament because the team that won the conference had only been 2 years in that should have went to the NCAA tournament. So because of that, they went on a run, and now their coach is at Iona. Ex-coach is at Iona. Yeah. Lions, Packers, $33.7 million, all that, and no extra turkey leg for Jordan Love. How do you give no love to Jordan Love? How do you give that? How does that happen? Yeah, how does that happen? I mean, yeah, FDU. I want to look up that. FDU NCAA tournament. FDU basketball. Yeah, they went to the tournament last year because of last year. They went because the team that should have went. Oh, well, last year tournament because the number one. Yeah, they went on a run. Yeah, that's not what I want. All right, but I remember that happening, and that happens, and all that stuff. Yeah, and Panthers interim head coach Chris Tabor fired Josh McCown, the quarterback's coach, and Deuce Staley, the running back coach. And Parks Frazier is going to handle the quarterback duties, and offensive coordinator Thomas Brown is the running back coach. I mean, I guess we're going to see what happens there. And Tepper says he wants a coach that will give a eulogy at his funeral, and a coach that's going to coach 20 to 30 years in the NFL. 20, 30 years. So what does he think? He's getting Belichick? Harbaugh, they said. Ben Johnson from Detroit. Slowick, the offensive coordinator for the Texans. I read. I mean, who's going to want to go with Tepper? Tepper's crazy. He says I'm patient in my other fields I work. And they compared him to Jerry. Jerry Jones is not a guy I'd compare him to because Jerry Jones has done shit with the Cowboys. So I don't know why they're going crazy about Jerry Jones. Like he's the example in the NFL? No. He's a guy who's too goddamn involved and screws everything up. So let's be honest there. Come on. I mean, really, that's bullshit. Yeah, and Dobbs did not have a good game, 4 interceptions. Yeah, Bears had 2 sacks, 2 fumbles, and 4 interceptions. That's a lot of turnovers, dude. That's a lot of turnovers. So now Vikes are still number 7 seed. Fields threw for 217, lost 2 fumbles, but led him on the game-winning drive at the end. Greg Olson said if he was called, he only coached his son's Pop Warner team. But hey, you know what? Pop Warner, NFL, what the hell? Really? I mean, Greg Olson? Are you going to? I mean, that sounds a little crazy. I know he played with the Panthers from 2011 2019. They said he's going to lose his job as the #1 guy on Fox because Brady's going to come in next year, which I still don't. I mean, I know they threw a lot of money at him. I just don't think that's going to work out long term for Brady. I don't. I hope he shocks me, but I can't see Brady calling games. I just don't see it happening. I just don't. And Goddard and Lane Johnson said he's playing against the Niners. So is Goddard said they're playing. That would be good for my fantasy team, which I lost again. I'm in 9th out of 10th place now. I was up there, and I've had a couple bad weeks, and poof, it's all over. Puka Nakua, 73 catches, 924 yards, 3 touchdowns. But the last 4 weeks, 4 catches, 43 yards he's averaging a game. But he's going on 1,000. That's pretty good. Myles Garrett, thank God, no structural damage in the shoulder. That's good going forward. I mean, I was like, okay, good, because I was worried about that. I was like, oh, that's good. Hey, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I want. NEC basketball last year band. That's what I was looking up last year. Oh, Jesus Christ, forget it. I got my mother gave me for Chinooka. She gave me a new tablet, but it's a Samsung, and it doesn't move. It doesn't move as smooth. That's what I want. Couldn't go to tournament. That's what I want. Couldn't go. Love it. Yeah, couldn't go to NCAA tournament. That was the team last year. Yeah. Merrimack. It was right with Merrimack. Yes. It was Merrimack last year, and they were that was bothering me. It bothers me, And Gumbo Chef says, move on, but I can't move on from certain shit. Certain shit bothers me, and I got to talk about it. So I'm like, you know what? That's the way I roll. I get a little fired up, and that's the way I am. Yeah, I just, sometimes I can't let things go. This is interesting. So Garrett, no structural damage, so he hopes to play against the Rams on Sunday. Remember Hendon Hooker had that great career at Tennessee. He blew out his knee. He was having a great season last year. Then Milton took over, finished the season. Well, so they drafted him, the Lions, and I went to the Jets to draft him. I thought let him heal. Tore ACL in college, could make practice debut this week. That's a guy I'd watch out for in the future. That guy's going to get playing time. Now, he's older. He's 25, but that's a guy I think can play in the league. And Derek Barnett was claimed by the Texans, 21.5 sacks. He had 1 tackle this year in 6 games. I mean, maybe he could add some life to that defense for the Texans. We shall see. I mean, he was a 2017 first-round pick. He's kind of fallen off the wayside. JPP, Harris loves this. Saints practice squad. He was picked from the Saints practice squad. Dolphins picked him up. He likes that. We'll see what happens to him going forward. I like that one, too. And, yeah. Bears' first win was the first win by any team this year without scoring a touchdown. First one without scoring a touchdown since they won 6-0 in 1993. 6-0, and I have this from Josh Dubois. Yeah, since they beat the Falcons on October 3rd, 1993. That's crazy, right? Well, it was not a very 6 total turnovers. I guess they got the fumbles back. So 2 fumbles by Fields on runs, which is not good. Dorian Thompson Robinson concussion protocol. That means PJ Walker's probably going to play this week for the Browns against the Rams. Chris Olave's in concussion protocol for the Saints. And Rashid Shaheed quad, both questionable for a New Orleans game this coming week. Fletcher Cox left with a groin injury. Status unknown for the Niners game. I think he's going to try to play if he can. And this is from Zach Cox. Listen to this. This is about the Patriots. NFL team 50-2 this season when allowing 10 or fewer points. Pats, the only 2 losses, and they lost in Frankfurt 10-6 to the Colts. Remember that? And they lost to the Giants 10-7. So 50-0, the other teams, when holding up 10 points or less. Pats have lost both games all in the last 2 weeks. That's not good. And did you see Kyle Gordon? So he got a penalty. Was it after, I think it was after an interception that he took his helmet off. His face mask, he got hit or somebody grabbed it. It was hanging off. So he took it off he put it up in the air to show, hey, dude, look at my helmet. And it ends up that it was the whole face guard was broken off. And you're like, dude, he wasn't doing that on purpose. I thought that was, and they can't review that stuff. And they do stupid stuff with the funny stuff where Justin Pugh said just off the couch. Well, OBJ said Himothy University. I'm tired of OBJ. I just feel like he tries too hard to be cool. And he's like that kid who's not cool anymore. Like you had your run, and Lamar Jackson put ball till you fall. And this is per Elias. Jalen Hurts, second NFL quarterback since 1950 to start 10-1 or better through 11 games in back-to-back years, joining Peyton Manning 2005-2006. That's pretty impressive. I thought that was pretty impressive. I was like, all right, that's some good stuff. Yeah, that's good. Justin Herbert said not getting a lot of blame. They're 4-7. He's a lot of games this season where he could have a final drive. What were they? Were down 13-10. He got one first down this past Sunday. He's had times earlier this season. I don't know if so they're saying that, Staley is some of the blame, but also Herbert gets a pass. Also, they were up 27-0 in the playoff game to the Jags. They lost that game. And Herbert, has a lot of chances at the end to, get a couple wins here and there. They're 4-7. He's 29-31 as a starter, and they feel that, he's put up great numbers. He's on Hall of Fame pace with his numbers, but it's not constituting any winning. You know what? They said Warren Moon never got a pass when they lost to Buffalo. Guys in the past, and they said, why is Herbert getting a pass when everything, he hasn't been that good, and he's on a $262 million contract. There's some truth behind those statements. I like watching him play. I feel like there's more shitty games. He's, subpar. I just feel like he has all the tools. Why isn't? And they got rid of Lombardi. They brought in Kellen Moore. They brought a new offensive coordinator in. It just doesn't seem. I know he lost Mike Williams, but he has. He has Eckler out of the backfield, and he has. I'm blanking on names today. I'm blanking on who's. Keenan Allen. He's got Keenan Allen, and Keenan Allen's a great receiver. Yeah, it's just. I don't know. It's just a little perplexing in my book. Now the Jags 7-1, last 8. Trevor Lawrence, 4th in expected points added per play, 6th in success rate among quarterbacks, at least 100 starts. Now, he's only thrown 12 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions, over 2,700 yards, 8-3. It's not a lot of touchdown passes, and yardage is up there, but yeah, he's had some, and he did stink it up. They did get blown out. The Jags did get blown out. Who did they lose to? Who did the Jags? There was one game recently, the one loss Jags schedule. They lost to, I'm trying to see. They got that, the Niners, 34-3. Destroyed. That's their last loss. They've beaten everybody else. They beat the Texans. They beat a shitty Titans team. They lost to the, I'm trying to see, okay, so they lost to the Chiefs. Then they beat the Jags, Falcons, beat the Bills in England, which was a hell of a win. Beat the Colts, beat the Saints, beat the Steelers, lost to the Jags, beat the Titans, and beat the Texans. All right. Beat the Dolphins. That was preseason. I'm sorry. Beat the Colts. Texans blew them out. So they still got to. So who do they got to play coming up? So they play the Bengals on Sunday. They're at the Browns. Host the Ravens, Sunday Night Football. Where's that? Wait, December 17th is, yes. Then they, at the Bucks, at the Jags, and finish the Titans. I thought they played the Texans again. Did they already play they beat the Texans. So they already played the Texans twice. They split. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. His third year, and a lot of people put him down. All these quarterbacks. I was thinking about that. I couldn't sleep last night. Everybody's going crazy about Caleb Williams and Drake May. I was talking to Gumbushev about that today. You're talking about a kid of 21, 22 to come in and expect him to be that good off the bat. There's a lot of quarterbacks. Alex Smith, a lot of quarterbacks have bumpy roads. They sat Mahomes' first year. Plunkett was the number 1 pick of the Patriots. a career they thought was over. Goes to the Raiders, wins 2 Super Bowls. I mean, Joe Theismann came in, was returning kicks when he first came in the league. When he was in Notre Dame, they used to say Theismann for Heisman. I mean, so there's a lot of quarterbacks who I feel you got to give them time. Like, I think Justin Fields, they're making it, even if he goes on a run here, that they want to draft, the GM, Ryan Poles, is like dead set on with these draft picks that he's going to draft a quarterback. And who's to say Caleb Williams, who I feel, won the Heisman last year, has missed a bunch of press conferences. His dad wants to get a stake in the team. He was asking like Aaron Rodgers had asked with the Jets, which is they can't, isn't the bylaws of the NFL. You can't do that kind of stuff. I think Caleb Williams is, a young kid who, kind of thinks he knows everything. He's won a Heisman. He did not have they lost the bowl game last year, came back this year, had a very mediocre season by USC standards. He's going to play in a shitty bowl, which he's probably not going to play in. And he's going to go number 1. Drake May, another one who I felt, it's on me that he said, the NC State game, it all starts with me. I think a lot, I feel like he didn't surprise me enough that I was like, wow. Will Quinn Ewers come out? I think Quinn Ewers could use, I think all these guys could use another year. But you know what? Look at Mark Sanchez. When he was at USC, he left and he won the Rose Bowl MVP. I guess he had a year of eligibility left. Pete Carroll was not happy about it. He knew that there was going to be a NFL rookie salary cap, and he got drafted, went high, made a $50 million that first deal, made a lot of money playing football, and he made a business decision because he said, there's not a lot of guys out there. Jets were starving for a quarterback. I thought he was going to be a beast. And, I feel like we put a lot of pressure on these kids to be the next great thing, and it doesn't always work out that way. It doesn't always work out that way. I mean, you'd like it to work out that way, but, it doesn't, unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way. Yeah, I mean, it would be great if it did, but and it's a lot of pressure on these kids. It's a lot of pressure, and they're young. And Justin Fields, listen, I feel sometimes his accuracy is not the best. Lamar Jackson too, but I feel like they improve over time, and their positives outweigh their negatives. I think we compare everybody to like Brady or like Peyton Manning or like a Montana or even Terry Bradshaw. I mean, Terry Bradshaw had ups and downs, and he was replaced a quarterback at times. And, Roger Staubach, I think one game, him and Craig Morton were every other play they were taken in and out because Landry couldn't decide who was going to be the quarterback. And Staubach wanted to keep playing, but he wanted to be, I think he wanted to call his own plays or whatever. And Landry goes, we can't do that. So he retired, and he started late because he went into the Navy and everything. So he started his NFL later than other people. But I feel like there's a lot of expectations with these young kids. And, I couldn't sleep. And I was like, I almost, when I don't sleep like that, I want to get on and just do my podcast and talk about stuff and be like, that's something that always, I think about. And you see in the transfer portal in college football, I mean, the list, Van Dyke from Miami, Howard from Kansas State, the quarterback from Mississippi State, all 3 now Michigan State was terrible this past year, terrible. All 3 quarterbacks enter the transfer portal. Well, you have a new coach coming in Jonathan. Who's the Jonathan? Oh man, now I'm blanking on his name. Who's the Michigan State coach? Michigan State. Yeah, see, it's Michigan State. Why is this doing this? Michigan State football team. Yes. So they finished the season. What did they finish the season at? 4-8. Yeah, not a good season. Not a good season at all. And they signed the new Michigan State, Jonathan Smith. So all 3 quarterbacks left. So a lot of quarterbacks ending their transfer portal. And I could go on and on. I looked up some of the players, and some of them are okay, but the kid from Mississippi State threw for over 12,000 yards last year. Taylor Van Dyke was quarterback. Then Emory Jones came in, hurt his throwing arm. He went out. Tyler Van Dyke came back in. I think he has a year of eligibility left. He's been up and down at Miami. He's from Connecticut. Maybe he'll go to a school up north. Who knows? But there's a lot of schools looking for quarterbacks. And there's a lot of players going into the transfer portal. Some will be good, some will be bad. And that starts on December 4th. New guys were going to transfer out. The new guys comes in, and that's what they do. They bring their own people in. So we're going to see what happens. But a lot of pressure on these young kids. And, they're paying them a ton of money and expect to be great off the bat. And you know what? The game has to start slowing down. It doesn't happen overnight. And you have to see what happens, I mean, I guess time will tell. And then some guys, it doesn't start off great. It takes a year or two. I mean, not everybody's like Joe Burrow coming in and playing like he is, or Mahomes comes in and does it. Brady was a late round draft pick, and he was showing things, throwing the game, and bam, from there he just took off. I mean, not everybody's like that. You wish it would be with everybody, but it isn't. The Giants have had so many goddamn quarterbacks. The Jets, Sam Darnold. I mean, Zach Wilson. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Joe Namath, biggest, greatest Jet ever. And that's from Bumbles watched him play. I was born that year, but he remembers watching him play. Rex Ryan, Bill Belichick, greatest in history. I will never dispute that, okay? He said he kicked his ass a million times, Belichick. But if you think for a minute it wasn't about Tom Brady, you're absolutely crazy. Which, I don't know. Couldn't do it without Brady. Couldn't do it without a great quarterback. We all know that. But Rex Ryan, hey, I mean, they blew him out in the playoffs a couple times. I mean, Rex Ryan played Belichick and Brady tough. Yeah. And I read a thing that Jared Goff, his first year, 2016, had a really shitty rookie year. Then Sean McVay came in, but I'm like, are they going to get a Sean McVay for Bryce Young? And they were showing plays. RG3 was showing plays yesterday, which I talked about in college, where he was, had touched, thrown the pass, had great teams, had great coaching, had great players around him, and he doesn't have it this year. And I mean, we're going to see what happens. I mean, they're saying Scott Fitterer, he did a press conference today for 13 minutes. Some guy said we couldn't even get a question in. They wanted to ask him questions. Scott Fitterer, the GM, is he just a sitting duck? 14 minutes reporters. Yeah, he has a reputation of extreme patience away from the NFL. I mean, is there another Sean McVay out there? Is Ben Johnson the guy? I mean, he hasn't been an NFL coach. Are they going to offer it to the former tight end? Yeah. And to say to have a coach for 20 to 30 years, why would you even say something and speak about eulogy? I mean, you go from firing two coaches in a year and now saying you want to coach for 20 to 30 years, which never happens in any sport except, Belichick and Pops with the Spurs. And you had Landry, who was coach of the Cowboys forever. New owner came in, poof, he was done. Done. I just think, it's better to shut up than say that stuff. And Matt Amendola for the Texans misses a 58-yarder, misses another field goal yesterday. Waves so they bring in Barnett, which I thought was, that's it's a business. It's a business. So the Lions are at the Bears. They have a bye next week. And Vikes are at the Raiders next week. And Fields and Dobbs combined for 380 passing yards, a touchdown, 4 interceptions, 2 fumbles, and 5 sacks. Not good. Not good at all. That was ugly. Justin Jefferson, per Kevin O'Connell, head coach, will be activated today around this time. And Jonathan Taylor could miss time with an unspecified thumb injury. He had 91 yards, 2 touchdowns in the win over the Bucks. 414, 4 touchdowns this year. That would hurt them, but we'll see. I mean, Moss, who Gumoshev had on his team, would be a guy maybe they could pick up and play some games. Hugh Jackson, the former Raiders, Bengals, he's been everywhere. Coach, outspoken, Grambling fired 2 years, 5 and 6 this year, 3 and 8 last year, 4 years, 1.6 million. So I guess they owe him 800,000 next 2 years. So couldn't win at Grambling. That's the end of that. Jonathan Smith is going to get a 7-year contract starting at $7.25 million, which we know. He's in the Big Ten. It's big money. He'll make over $2.3 million more next year than he would have made if he was at Oregon State, which makes sense. Someone that might be in the cards for Syracuse is defensive back coach Fran Brown, top candidate for the job. He is a New Jersey native. He went to Temple, 2 years at Georgia, also was Rutgers 2 years before that, and great recruiter. That's the thing. You need a guy who can recruit, and Syracuse needs a great recruiter. They have more money, yes, than Fordham does. So, I understand what Bumbles is saying. It is. I mean, the small schools have to compete. And, I don't know what you expect from these coaches. I mean, every school wants your team to win. But if you're in a conference and you're a basketball school and that's all you got at the school, well, they have a football team. But you're a smaller school. I don't know how you get the players. You can't really What are you going to entice them with? An education? But you're not going to get a top-level recruit to the A10. It's just not going to happen. I mean, look at Delaware. Delaware's now going to go in Conference USA. They're going to go from FCS to FBS, and their fee is going to be like $5 million. But that school, I felt for years, could have taken the jump. And they have the same colors as Michigan, which is kind of cool. So, and other guys for the Cuse job, head coach, Holy Cross, Bob Chesney, and Toledo's Jason Candle. But they wanted somebody who was working at Power 5 schools, and that doesn't, and this is a guy, Fran Brown, African-American coach, which is good. We need more diversity in football, which is not as good as it should be, which has never been as good as it should be. But, but he's coached at Power 5s. I mean, everybody's got to get a shot. Yeah, I mean, I love it. Oh, well, you haven't coached at a Power 5. Not everybody gets a head coaching job. You have to first coach, work your way up, and then you get the job. So let's see what happens there. Colorado lost 3-star quarterback, 2024 commit, Danny O'Neill. They're saying that he's in trouble. The hype started. They ended the year on a blip. They were the media's darlings. Then they've had all the losses. I mean, I don't know what they expected this year. He had a lot of guys didn't have the talent, and they beat some crappy teams to start off the year. Teams that were good last year, not as good this year. And they're going to go to Big 12 next year. And fans came. Season kind of ended the way it has the last couple of years. And we're going to see what he can do. He went from all the talk. He was everywhere, Deion Sanders, to prime time. It was kind of quiet. So, lick your wounds. Get those recruits. You're going to lose guys. You're going to gain guys. And we'll see what they do next season. I'm kind of curious because everybody's going to expect them to go, up. And we'll see if it really happens. I mean, that should be interesting. I mean, we'll see what happens on that front, right? I mean, time will tell. Time will tell, right? Yeah, I mean, we shall see what happens going forward. Yeah. Oh, and Mike Elko. This is awesome. So Mike Elko, $7 million base over 6 years. If he makes the college football playoff, $1 million. Winning conference title or reaching quarterfinals, 1.5. Semifinals, $2 million. Title game, 2.5. If he wins it all, 3.5 million. And hitting any of the milestones adds another year to his contract. 3.5 million for winning the Natty. Michigan thought he'd get like $2 million. 3 more years left on deal. If he's let go, they owe him 75%. Less than 3 years, 80% on his contract. 100,000 SEC championship game. 50,000 SEC Coach of the Year. 100,000 National Coach of the Year. And 50,000 if they get, that APR, which is the whole grades of the class, if they're above 960 or higher on that. Multi-years of being that. So there's a lot of money for him to make. Now, this is the thing. And there was a guy today, I sent it to Hal and I sent it to Dom, a reporter out in Texas. They haven't had, Texas A&M, last double-digit win season was 2012 with Johnny Football, Kevin Sumlin, 11-2. They won the Cotton Bowl, 41-13 over Oklahoma. 2012. The last time before that, 1998. The reporter goes, I was 8 years old. 1998, they went 11-3 under R.C. Slocum, lost the Sugar Bowl to Ohio State 24-14. So you're talking in the last 25 years, they have had 2 double-digit win seasons. And they're talking, well, we're about national championships. What national championships? We expect to win national. Where? You've had 2 double-digit win seasons in the last 25 years. You can't talk about that shit. You're not even competing for anything. So why? I mean, I know you're trying to build the fan base and everything, but you talk like that, and I'm just like, dude, you guys haven't done anything. You've done nada. Nada. I just was like, no. And how about December 23rd, Saturday night, before Christmas Eve, the Easy Post Hawaii Bowl, 10:30 Eastern time. I'll be watching that. Yes, and Hal sent me the championship odds. It's Michigan, Georgia, Oregon, Bama, and Texas. It still bothers me that Oregon lost to Washington regular season. Washington undefeated regular season champs. And if they lose this game to Oregon, Washington's out. Really? There's something to be said about going like Georgia. Georgia went undefeated regular season during the SEC. I don't care who they played or who they didn't play. You have undefeated regular season champion, has to count for something. You lose a championship game where you've beat it, you've had a great regular season. You have one bad day, you lose one loss, and the season's over. You can't play for the championship. No, that's why they need more teams, because this should never happen again. Washington and Oregon should be playing, and they both should be going to the tournament, going to the college football playoff. They should be. It's just bullshit, because you beat them once already, you lost, so there's no winner here. You won the championship, the conference championship game, but you didn't win you lost to them during the regular season. And now you're going in, but they don't get to go in, but they beat you during the regular season. Now I know they beat you at home, but they still beat you. Bullshit. I call bullshit. On Chris Partridge, ex-Michigan linebacker, no knowledge of alleged sign stealing within program. Yeah, he didn't know about it. Didn't destroy evidence alleged in the in-person scouting scandal. Fired November 17th. He said he was fired because of failure to abide by university directive not to discuss an ongoing NCAA investigation with anyone associated with Michigan football program, which would mean everybody that he's associated with. All he's on the football team. The linebacker coach. Who do you think he associates with all day? So what, did he say something? Something sounds fishy here, dude. So you said something within the program to someone in the program where all you deal with is people inside the football program. But I didn't have anything to do with it. Then what, you got fired because you talked to somebody within the program about an ongoing investigation that everybody was talking about. And they said that allegedly an industry source said that he dealt with that Connor Stalions kid when he first, this is the second time at Michigan, but he dealt with him or had an association with Connor Stalions when he first got into the program or was trying to get into the program. I was like, really? That's why he was fired? That's what he used his fire, because he spoke to somebody within the program about you're not supposed to speak. You don't think everybody breaks that protocol? Breaks those rules? Something sounds fishy there. I saw that. I was like, something smells fishy. And this is the best. Bobby Petrino is being vetted to be the offensive coordinator at Arkansas. Now, listen, last 2 years there, he went 22-5. He went 34-17 in Arkansas. He was having an alleged affair with extramarital affair with someone who worked in the program. He got into a motorcycle accident, said he was alone, but they said he was with the woman that he was having the affair with, got fired from that job. And I remember with the Falcons, when he left after 12, 14 games and took a job right after, maybe that was the Arkansas job that he left for. And I remember he left notes in all the players' lockers, and they were like, fuck you, Petrino. You're an asshole. You need to go. You're not, you know what? I never liked him. He was the offensive coordinator under Jimbo Fisher this year at Texas A&M. And now he's going to get, listen, some guys have 19 lives. Petrino's one of them. Yeah, definitely. And Minnesota quarterback Athan Kaliakamis, who threw for 1838, 14 touchdowns, 9 interceptions at Minnesota. He's also in the transfer portal. There's a lot of guys. Quarterbacks, Noah Kim, Caden Hauser, and Sam Levitt, all three quarterbacks. Yeah, because, he's not keeping any of these guys. He's like, you know what? I got my own guys. I'm going to keep somebody else in here. I'm not gonna keep any of these. I'm not keeping any of these. Yeah, I'm going to keep one of these guys. Really? Jonathan Smith's like, yeah. You went 4-8. You sucked this year. Yeah, you just lost 42-0. All the guys saw their handwriting on the wall. They knew they were done. New coach comes in. You're done. You're gone. Finito. End of story. Yeah, we'll see what happens that. Yeah, I don't like the running up score. And LeBron, worst loss ever, 44 points. They lost yesterday to the Sixers, 138-94, worst loss ever. He did lose a finals game with the Heat back in 36 in the NBA Finals. Lost to the Pacers with the Lakers, 42 in 2019. But his worst loss in his career, fourth ever game without a rebound, first since 2010. Embiid had triple-double, 30, 11, 11, 6 career triple-double through 3. He sat at the fourth quarter. Embiid still outscored him 40-14. They have won the last seven in a row over the Lakers, the Sixers have. They were 22-7 was three-pointers made, Sixers to Lakers, 40-14 in the fourth quarter without Embiid. Lakers go to Detroit, who have lost 14 in a row. They had that game yesterday, the two worst teams. 2-14 Pistons lost to the 2-14 Wiz by 19 yesterday. And that's a bad loss. So they've lost 14 in a row, and I don't know if they're going to win a game again. And the Pistons with their head coach, and he's getting paid a lot of money, right? Pistons. I see his face. Pistons coach. Yeah, Monty Williams. It's not going well. Monty Williams. Not. It's not. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen. I mean, I guess they expected him not to have a great season, but he's getting paid a lot of dinero, a lot of shekels, a lot of shekels. I guess we're going to see what happens going forward. But yeah, I love it. They got their asses kicked. He had 18 points in 30 minutes, but they got their asses kicked. Nuggets beat the Clippers 113-104. No Murray, no Joker. They're 12-6. Clippers fall at 7-9. Reggie Jackson, 35 points, 13 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and DeAndre Jordan had 20 points. He hasn't done that in forever. And so Reggie Jackson had a game steps up. That's what guys do. Step up when the guys are away. And Kawhi had 31, Harden had 11, and Paul George had 6. Westbrook had 14 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. And then after the game was pissed off. I think somebody got in his face, and he was not happy at all with that. Yeah, I was trying to look that up. Transfer portal, view entire message. Yeah, that's what I want. Give me that entire message. Yeah, he does not. Do not disrespect. Do not disrespect, Mr. Do not disrespect, Mr. Westbrook. Yeah, where I have it here. Didn't I? That's not what I was looking for. Where is he? Yeah, Russell Westbrook. Not tolerate fans saying anything personal about him or his family. 30 seconds remaining. They inbounded the ball to the Clippers. Westbrook stood at midcourt and talked to a fan who was sitting behind the courtside seats. He said, I mean, it's unfortunate. Fans think they can say whatever they want. I'm not going to say what was said now because it's not appropriate. But, well, I don't understand that stuff. If you're going to say that you're bothered by it, but they're not going to say what the fan, I think you got to say this stuff because then you tell everybody what's going on and we can stop this stuff. But don't, I don't understand. Yeah, they say whatever they want, but what do they say? That's what I always want to know. What happened? So they said Clipper security and arena security, along with Westbrook's Clipper teammate, Daniel Tice, all came over to make sure tensions did not escalate. Yeah, he had a verbal confrontation with a Suns fan last year as players were using a shortcut through a club area to go to the court. Wizards, he had a problem with a fan. Playoff game in Philadelphia, he had dumped popcorn on him. He was leaving the court. He had held back. He does not like that. Utah fan had a lifetime ban, verbal altercations. This is not new. Yeah, he said now having kids and understanding how important it is, not just myself on my last name, understanding what Westbrook means, understand how important that is to my dad, my grandfather, my family. Well, it's important to me, yeah. Well, dude, people, that's what they think. They go to arena, they can say whatever they want. I paid for my tickets, I can say whatever I want, which isn't always true. But, I would think you'd have yeah. And he says, well, my kids say, what does that mean? So maybe they made a racial comment, which if that's the case, then tell us what it is. Stop this shit. I feel like you got to stop this stuff. That's me. That's me. Yeah, Pistons. Oof. Yeah, not good. 126-107. That's ugly. What did? So Rodgers. Oh. Rodgers playoff hopes a factor. Jets position in playoffs. Rodgers reiterates Jets position in playoff race will matter when it comes to a potential return. I thought he said he was returning regardless. Now it's changing, and they're saying that Sal and Douglas have their jobs because of him. I'm like, great, okay. Now we got the ACC SEC Challenge. We got Miami versus Kentucky today, Notre Dame versus South Carolina, Mississippi State versus Georgia Tech, and Clemson versus Bama. Tomorrow we have Notre Dame versus Tennessee women, Vandy versus NC State, Miami versus Mississippi State, and Louisville versus Ole Miss. And yesterday, UConn beat UNH 84-64 by 20. D1 record 24th consecutive double-digit victory over non-conference opponent. Great. They broke the record of UNC back, who had 23 straight in 2008-2009. And Donovan Clingan went 12 or 13 from the field, 29 points. But it was kind of 7 rebounds. He looked like he was a man. It looked like he was playing against little kids. That's how tall he is. I was like, dude, that guy's really tall. The hottest team in hockey, hottest teams right now, Colorado 6-1. Calgary's 5-2-1, their last 11. Kings are 5-0. Winnipeg and Nashville 5-1. Yeah, Rangers host the Red Wings, but I think Patrick Kane's going to play by then. And Panthers and Senators, the ref had to announce penalty on every player on the ice. It was a huge brawl last night. I mean, everybody, they're beating the shit. And one of the grandmothers was there, one of the players. She wasn't impressed by all of it. So 5-0. Panthers over the Senators. They're 13-7-1. Panthers 8-9. I mean, everybody was fighting everybody. It just looked like one big Donnybrook. Yeah, it was crazy. And Avalanche beat Tampa Bay 4-1. 7 wins in the last 8 games. 4 straight. 80 goals in 21 games. They are having a season there. Yeah, Avalanche. And Isles 8-6-6 at the Devils 9-9-1. Both teams. And Jack Hughes, hey, coming back, he'll get better. I mean, he's still, we'll see what happens. Wild fired Dean Evison and assistant Bob Woods 5-10-4 this year. 7-game losing streak. Evison won 64% of his games, but they lost in the first round of the playoffs all 4 years, nearly 5 years with the team. They lost in the first round, 8-15 in the playoffs. Not going to get it done. And a 7-game losing streak. Start the season, you're 5-10-4. Bob Guerin had to make a change. And John Hines, who was coach with Nashville and New Jersey, 53%, 524 winning percentage, is going to be the interim coach. They always think a change is going to help, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes it turns things around. Other times it doesn't. Hey, who did that? Who had someone come in and they went on a run? I'm trying to think. Baseball. Oh, well, baseball a couple of years ago. Oh, the Phillies. They got rid of former Yankee manager. I see his face. God, I can't remember. Who won the championship? 2009. Who was the Yankee manager? I can't remember him. God, my brain is going. I see his face. Yankee manager. No, that's not what I want. Yankee manager. I see the catcher. God, why? Yeah, he went to Phillies and that went up in smoke. Yankee. God, I see his face. Yankee manager. Joe. What was his name? God damn it. 2009. No. Joe Girardi. God, I can't remember Girardi. They got rid of him and they brought in the manager now, the Philly manager. And they turned things around. They went on a run. They've been better since they brought in the manager, Phillies manager, Rob Thompson. I mean, yeah, sometimes you need a change. We'll see what happens on this. And how about this? Columbus beat the Bruins. Bruins have lost 3 in a row, 14-4-3, 1-4 the last 5 games. They lost 5-2, and and Columbus, the Blue Jackets, which I think that name sucks to me. Better Day Golf Co. Oh, Dominic now, Better Day Golf Co. It's like everybody's joining. He's going back and forth. He can't keep track of everything. 7-12-4. They're not playing great. Oakland is getting a minor league baseball team called the Oakland Bees. B for ballers. Ballers, baby. And their green and gold scheme. Good luck with that. Media coverage of women's sports has tripled since 2019. Report by Wasserman said that the total sports coverage of all women's sports coverage is 15% of all sports coverage now. And by 2025, it's going to be up to 20%, 2025. And that's a lot, right? That's pretty good. Al Michaels at 78 says he's never eaten a vegetable in his life, which is how I feel. Tiger PGA agreeing with LIV says golf's future murky. Maybe. I mean, I think it's murkier if you don't have great players. And I think there's only one Tiger. So we'll see how that goes going forward, right? I mean, what's happening on ESPN? Rodgers focused on health. Now he's not committing to return. Dude, you're fucking every goddamn day you're going back and forth. Every day. Blackhawks cut Perry for unacceptable conduct. Oh, and WWE Hall of Famer Sitch sentenced in fatal DUI crash. She got 16 years in jail. Yeesh. And so Michigan State was aware of Jonathan Smith Suitors tacked on a 7th year. Because, what the hell? We got the money. So what happened here? Was that Scott Perry? Corey Perry, he took a leave of absence. It was the decision Blackhawks general manager Kyle Davidson decision to send Perry away from the team was made by management. Engaged in conduct described as unacceptable, and that it was a violation of both terms of his contract and the team's internal policy that are intended to promote professional and safe work environment. What the hell happened? Unconditional waivers. His last game was November 19th. 3 games. Wow. 1 year, $4 million contract offseason. Spent the last 2 years with Lightning. 12 goals and 25 points in his final year with the club. Wow. So now I want to know what the hell he did. Like Angel Reese. What the fuck's happening with Angel Reese? Like no one's giving any answers on this stuff. And I'm like, I want to know what's happening with Angel Reese. You know, I'm like, what is going on with Angel Reese? That's what I want to know. I'm like, what is going on here? Yeah. Now I'm more concerned about his health. You know, he's so full of shit. You know what? It's like he has to stay in. He wants to stay relevant. And dude, enough. Yeah. Come on, please. Yeah. And Josh Dobbs, they don't have Jaron Hall or Nick Mullins. Come on. That's not the answer. I mean, listen, he didn't play a great game. It happens. But come on. I mean, Montez Sweat played pretty well, though. Last 3 games, week 10, 8 pressures, 3 quarterback hits in week 10. Week 11, first sack as a Bear tonight, opening drive sack. So he's been playing all right. All these guys are playing for they all want new contracts. Yeah, and yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Greg Olson, I mean, we're going to see what happens there. Yeah. Oh, and I love this. Andrew Brandt said, this is the translation for what Frank Reich said on David Tepper. I've got $30 million coming to me, not the coach there, Mr. Tepper's, but this is what he said. Frank Reich on being fired amid his first season in Carolina. I have nothing but positive thoughts about Mr. Tepper, not David, Mr. Tepper. That's not, you don't have a relationship with the guy if you're calling him Mr. I know but I would think once he gets a job, you can call me David. That's what on a personal level, I saw a side of him that I deeply respect and care about, but the NFL is a meritocracy. It's not unconditional love, Mr. Tepper. Yeah. Yeah. And Deebo Samuel said about the Eagles and how it ended last year. It's not about revenge. It's another game in the schedule. We're going to treat it like any other game. Yeah. Okay. He says, I don't regret anything I said last year. Well, you didn't, but now we're moving on. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what's going to happen there. Oh, and interesting. So Derek Barnett, the Eagles restructured his contract, converting salary into a bonus, which means the team that claimed him, the Texans, would cost $420,000 in base salary for the rest of the year, plus small per game roster bonuses. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and then there was a argument at Lincoln Financial. The video showed tackle Jordan Phillips initially going to a fan in the front row, and some fans said that they didn't say anything, but yeah, come on. Said he had videotape. And Shaq Lawson briefly shoved a fan, and Phillips was yelling at security to do their job. And he said, Shaq Lawson said, those of you know me, that I'm all about the fans. I have a lot of respect for the game. I play, and my opponents. Before the game started, there was a fan behind their bench who was making life-threatening remarks towards us and our families. And they said that they asked Philly security to remove the fan, but he was allowed to stay the entire game. Eventually, emotions boiled over. I made a mistake. Hey, you know what? I mean, I know I saw Jordan Phillips go and do your job to one of the security guys. Yeah. I love the crowd. I love rowdy fans. It makes the game fun. Phillips wrote on Instagram on Monday. But one thing I'm not going to tolerate is someone threatening me or my family. This is a line that's, yeah, I agree. You do that shit, it's uncalled for. Big time uncalled for. That's bullshit. Yeah, bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, and Mike Elko said about Texas A&M, we're not going to talk about it anymore. We're going to be about it. Okay. Talk is cheap. Bullshit runs a marathon. We'll see what and they're also saying that his contract, 6-year deal through 2030, annual base salary is $7 million, salary pool for his $11 million, incentives on another level, but basically that the $11 million for a staff pool, and they said that the staff pool for Jimbo Fisher was $13.5 million. So I guess we're going to see how that works out going forward. Yeah, and Shadur Sanders didn't play against Utah because he had a fracture in his back. His dad would not get any specifics, but yeah. It was revealed by his brother Deion Sanders Jr., who documents the college football program for his Well Off Media YouTube channel, which all that stuff is great. The videotaping, But when you lose 6 in a row to end the season, you start off 3-0 and go 1-8 the rest of the season. All that outside shit takes away because the focus should be on football. And you do the other stuff afterwards. Like, Andy Reid's doing all these commercials, which is great. He's winning championships. But the other guys, I'm my brand, my brand, my brand. Nobody gives a shit about a brand after a 4-8 season. Nobody cares. And I was a supporter. I like Deion Sanders, but no, not a good, no. All this stuff it's a lot of noise that we don't need. Matt Rule said in Nebraska, I got to get the guy on from analytics, the guy from on Twitter. I got to get that guy on because that guy, I want to talk to. Arbitrary analytics. I want to get him to talk because Matt Rule, I don't know if I like this comment. He met with returning players Monday. As I said to them, that's 5 losses really by a field goal or overtime. So we don't need to do something drastic. What we need to do is have everyone just get a little bit better. A lot better. Dude, you finished 5-7. You lost. I'm sorry. No. I don't like that. I want to talk about that. And also, last year, the Vikings were 11-0 one-score games. This year, 5-6. 1 year goes your way. Next year, it doesn't go your way. So you don't know. Yeah. Yeah, Van Dyke, Will Howard from Kansas State in the transfer portal. Raleek Brown, I remember him being this guy. And then he didn't want to play this year, had ankle injury, so he decided to shut it down. 5-star recruiter really hasn't done shit. Blake Shapen to transfer from Baylor, starting quarterback. 5,574 yards, 36 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 64%, 6 rushing touchdowns. Multiple injuries, went 3-9. Treshaun Ward, 1 year at Kansas State, started at Florida State. Chris Tyree is leaving. That's what I want to see. Chris Tyree was related. Is Chris Tyree related to Chris? I was wondering if he was related to. That's what I was wondering. Chris Tyree. I thought his dad was. That can't be. Chris Tyree can't be his dad on the Giants. Is that? David Tyree, is that his son? David Tyree, that's not his son, is that? I was trying to see. I don't think that's his son. Giants, the Kelma catch, battled his middle school. He's a born-again Christian. Same sex. Oh, he's cousins with Jay Williams. Yeah, I'm trying to see 7 kids, but I'm trying to see if Chris Tyree. I don't think he's. I thought he might be related. Chris Tyree dad. Yeah, was that his dad? That's what I was kind of curious about. No, that does not look like. Sophomore year, Mr. Tyree. That's not his dad. No, from his dad, Rich. Yeah, I thought that was David Tyree's kid. That's what I thought it was. I was wrong. So I was like, is that him? Yeah. So a lot of quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, we're going to see how it all turns out. Yeah, I mean, Will Rogers from Mississippi State, over 12,000 yards. Tyler Shuck from Texas Tech. A lot of injuries. Max Johnson, Texas A&M, transferring final season, started LSU. I mean, there's guys out here that Brendan Sorsby from Indiana. 10 games, 1,587 yards, 15 touchdowns. I mean, that's a guy that could be. Yeah. I mean, you got all these guys from Caden Hauser, played 7 games, Michigan State. Nate Johnson's transferring from Utah. I don't think he ever got to really playing time. That's a guy I kind of see if he could do everything. You don't know. SEC's Ken Seals, 3 years, 27 career games. Yeah, I mean, and there's so many of them. It's just crazy. And the buyouts. So Holgerson from Houston got $15 million. Allen from Indiana got 15.5. They think Babers got $4 million. Stockstill from Middle Tennessee State got $5 million. Avalos from Boise got $3 million. Arnett, who didn't even finish the season at Mississippi State, got $4 million. It's the money. Bowden was at shit. But Louisiana Monroe got 180,000. Over 124 million last year was 94 million. But you get 76 million to goddamn Fisher. And Reddick and Tim Legler were talking about the Knicks. You know, they said you have a very good rebounding team. You got Jalen Brunson, who's elite. They're never out of a game, but does that mean, I guess we're going to see? Yeah. And what can they do in a 7-game series? I mean, that's what we're going to see what happens. And LeBron now has played the most all-time minute leader. He's surpassed Kareem over 66,000 minutes playing basketball. 54,000 and change, and over 11,000 and change in playoff minutes. Crazy, right? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah. And all these, yeah, I can't. Yeah. And Juju Watkins is the first to win 3 straight Freshman of the Week awards in 2021 for USC. Rangers, I hope Capo Caco. Yeah, we talked about that. The Professional Women's Hockey League, first ever game will feature Toronto hosting New York on January 1st, 2024 at the Mattamy Athletic Center. January 2nd, you have Montreal at Ottawa. Then you have Minnesota, Boston, January 3rd. Toronto and New York at Total Mortgage Arena. I don't know where that is. Then Montreal, Minnesota, January 6th. So you got games 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th, and 13th. There'll be an All-Star Weekend 3-on-3 showcase at the Toronto Maple Leafs Scotia Bank Arena. And the Mets brought in Bloomberg CEO Scott Havens as the new president of business operations. Yay! So they got a guy from Bloomberg. And Bucky Dent, I don't know, he was all-day county running back at Hialeah High School in 68 with teammate Silvio Cardoso. They led the county, explosive backfield led the county in rushing. Now, he was only 5'8", 165. He played in the Orange Bowl several times. He was doing better on the diamond. He led the state championship in 69 in baseball. He went to Miami-Dade Community College North Campus for 1 year. 6th overall pick in the 70 draft by the White Sox. Made his debut in 73, 4 seasons with White Sox. Made his name with the Yankees, 78, hey, Bucky fucking Dent in the 1-game playoff. Then he was MVP of the 78 World Series. I forgot about that. 12 years in the majors, 3-time American League All-Star, 2-time World Series champ. Thank you, Ghost of the Orange Bowl. I thought it was pretty cool. All right. I don't think, did I miss anything else? Bobby Petrino returns. I guess he's back. They said he signed. Yeah, all right. And Aaron Rodgers. Never a dull moment, man. Never a dull moment. Yeah. So, Joe Willie, thanks for being on the show today. Joe Girardi, you're the best. You're the best. All right. Trivia question. Let's get to some trivia questions. Last show trivia question was, what record did Josh Allen set in the overtime loss to the Bills loss to the Eagles? 0-6 is the most losses without a tie or win in OT by a starting quarterback. 0-6 in overtime. 0-6. Today's trivia question. November 27, 1971, players from which team fell to the ground simultaneously, allowing the opposing team to score so that they could get the ball back and have their quarterback pursue the NCAA passing yardage record? Can you imagine that? So they wanted the ball back. I still remember UConn, one of their players got hurt. She had an Achilles injury, and they put her in the end so she could set the team record for points. They basically held her, and they threw a pass in, and I was like, yeah, I know she played her ass off. I don't think that's how I'd want to get the record. And if you go to the ground and give up a touchdown so you get the ball back so you can get some record for the most passing yards in a career, I mean, I don't know. Something about it. Like when Strahan got the sack record and basically Favre just went down. That kind of like fell down his ass. I never liked that. Hey, thank Joe Willie today. Better Day Golf Coach Josh all the time. Gumbo Chef. Thank you. Michigan gave me some stuff today. I got to talk to Lanker. I was able to cancel my Peacock. I thought it was for a year with no commercials. No, it was the shitty package with commercials, which sucks. Rick and Morty's really good. I'll give you that. And I think I'm supposed to hang out with Izzy, but I don't know if she's home yet. Nope, I have not heard a word from her. All right, that's all I got for today. I've talked too long. Everybody have a great day. Peace out. Josh, I hope family's feeling better. Joe Willie, you keep staying sexy for them basketball. And Better Days Golf Co. Dude, love that video put up on TikTok, man. Dominic, you rock. All right? Peace out, everybody. But I want to talk about somebody else. I don't know. If I forgot, I forgot. Yeah, I haven't talked to Kramer in a while. LG and Ben and Harris sends me funny shit, man. But that thing you said about the Giants are basically, they're both in play for a top 5 pick and a playoff spot, which is crazy. And we're going to see what happens to Tyrod Taylor. And now Rodgers is like focusing on his health. Oh, I'm coming back. No, you're not, dude. You're not coming back. You're wishy-washy. I don't like wishy-washy. And who knows next year? What are you going to be? 40 years old? You're going to be Mr. Limber? Pliability? Bullshit. All right. Peace out. Adios.